When's it get cold?
We were just asking. a
London.
question.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, questions for Derek?
When you look back at the Minnesota game, just how did you assess what you saw from the offense? Just looking back at it.
Yeah, same thing. Really, the same thing I said after the game. It really held true, is that we didn't finish our drives. Right, we're getting down towards the red zone. We have a shot on a third down. Field goal opportunity. We can't put Daniel in that position. We got to get a touchdown there. Right. We didn't finish. We didn't. Our communication needs to be better on the road. When it's noisy, our nonverbal communication was definitely something I took away. And then me just trying not to do too much. Right. Making sure I stay within, parameters, not trying to do too much. But besides that, we'll be all right. I don't overreact after one or two games, to be honest with you. We played a pretty solid defense in week one, did some good things, but we just got to be more consistent and better communicators, and I think we're going to be all right.
When you say you're trying to do too much, how is that manifesting on the field for our vantage?
For you, I don't know. Yeah. I know how it makes sense to me.
You know a lot more than we do about this, is what I'm saying. So how would that look?
Well, there's certain things that, like certain checks and things that we've talked about that, from day one, where I'm maybe trying to pull from something that was, a few months ago, that's something that we've talked about, but it's something that we haven't talked about in 2 months, right? And if we're not all on the same page, it's not going to work, right? And so sometimes I try and do too much. I've said that. That's my biggest fault I've ever had. As a football player, I was always just trying to do too much, thinking, oh man, this is perfect. I can do this, and just chill out, bro. Just chill out and do your job, and let the good play eat, and don't have to make a good play better, right? Doing things like that, and so learning, right? So I don't know. I don't want to say too much because without giving away certain things, right? But hopefully that helps answer that question a little bit.
After the game, there was a lot of talk of accountability starting from the players on up. What has been the message, and how is that coming to fruition this week ahead of it?
Well, for us, I say the same thing after every game pretty much to the cameras. And then I go talk to my guys as a person. You know what I mean? 6 years into this, I've learned that if I don't say something catchy, it's not going to get written down. You know what I mean? So I don't want to waste my breath. So I just go talk to my guys individually and just tell them, where I could be better, where we could be better, where I think that we could grow. But I used to try and explain so much and put my heart into that, for you guys, and I still do. I still put enough out there, but there's a lot of stuff I just hold back, and we deal with it in the locker room. And I learned that from some veterans that I played with, Seawood, Tuck, watching those guys, and over the years seeing I see why they did certain things the way they did them. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how we handled it. Taking, me sitting there, coach every time gets up in front of the team, and he's going to tell them, Derek, you should have done this and this and this. So-and-so, you should have done this, this, and this. We all see and know what everyone needs to do better, and and when he says, "You with me?" You're either going to be quiet or yes, sir, I got you. In front of everybody. And so that's never been a problem with us and Coach Gruden. He's going to let you know where you need to be better, and we're all going to hold each other accountable. And that's what we do here.
You guys have had some flux in terms of receiver personnel, and from what John was just saying, that maybe Tyrell's moving around a bit more than what you planned during the summer.
Yes.
Doing those adjustments in season, you plan for one thing and then have to adjust. Has that been a wrinkle? I don't know how you want to.
Yeah, it's definitely different, right? He's got to run some different cuts. He's got to run some different routes. He's got to do a lot more for us than originally that was planned, right? We had a plan of two guys sharing a certain load, right, of things, and now we got him. JJ's back from his injury. We got Trevor. We got Hunter. We're trying to figure out what's the perfect way to do it, right? And we got 3 really good tight ends also. With our running backs, we've always talked about them, and so we're just trying to figure out how to do it. And so it is more. It's more, honestly, the biggest thing is just more on Tyrell. He's got more on his plate, and I think you guys have talked to him and know him well enough that he can handle it. And I think it'll be good for him though, because it'll just put him, put the ball his way a lot more.
How security blanket is Darren Waller? It seems like no matter who's guarding, you create a mismatch either way. The smaller guys or smaller guys. What does that do for you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you hit it on the head because I think we saw him catch balls against safeties and linebackers, and also we put him out wide and he's running slant routes on some pretty good corners, and we're making 10, 12 yards on those. So, again, you don't want to ever get ahead of it, but we think he's very special. Obviously the production is now showing up. What he doesn't get enough credit for is he'll one play get a reverse kind of speed play, then the next play he's blocking Hunter in pass protection. Then the next play he's running a slant on Trey Waynes. Like that you don't find those guys. Like they're not around, And the fact that we have one of those is pretty awesome. And I hope again that Raider fans enjoy the heck out of him because, what is he? He's like first or second in catches. He's balling out of his mind. He's just playing. He's playing unreal, and I think we all root for that guy and what he can do, especially with what we ask him to do. And Coach Gruden's offense, it's hard mentally, and we ask him to do a lot.
Derek, as a quarterback, you sort of project what it would be like being Jacoby Brissett in late August, and all of a sudden the guy ahead of you is not just hurt, but he's done. He's gone.
Yeah.
Up and retires. So not only are you QB1, but you're the franchise now.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It reminds me so much. Now, he didn't retire, but my rookie year, like going into the week 1, like I still was like, oh, cool, I'll play someday. I played in the preseason, the last game because I thought we were just resting Schaub in his elbow, I think it was. And then all of a sudden, like I come in there, hey, you're starting. It's like, oh, sweet, Rex Ryan or the New York Jets, sweet, that'll be awesome. First start. When the whole time you've been taking the 2 reps, you'll play someday in the future, right? And so you can't hide the excitement as a competitor. So I'm sure he was excited, but you also feel for your teammate. Like I'm sure he feels for Andrew. Like Andrew didn't want to retire, right? His body, I guess, had enough. And trust me, there's a lot of guys in our locker room, a lot of guys I play with. As soon as he retired, we're like, man, we understand. It's going through all those injuries, man. That's not fun, especially internal injuries. That's different, But you feel for them, but at the same time, you're excited. And again, football is the ultimate team sport. So I'm sure his teammates just put their arms around him and said, man, let's roll.
Derek, the way this works after a couple of rough games, a lot of the same stuff gets jumped on, and one of them, the Raiders' offense, obviously, they don't go downfield enough.
Yeah.
If you're playing against Minnesota and you're down and they're playing way deep, are there plays to be had downfield, or are they just not there?
Well, we hit a few of them, to be honest with you. They were up 21-0, but we still were able to hit a few of them. A couple play action shots across the middle, hit 2 of those, hit one down the sideline. We had another one called, but they gave us a front that it was no good, so we had to check out of another one. So we had another one called, but we couldn't run it. So it's not like they're not being called. It's not like we're not trying. You know what I mean? The times where you see on film, we tried to take a deep shot, and Harrison's back there. I throw it to Tyrell on a 20-yard crossing route. that's an explosive gain. There are times, in situations like if you're down, 4 scores, 3 scores, the play action deep shot.
Yeah.
There's no bite on the play action. You know what I mean? There's no run fake. So, early on we had some play actions. We actually had another one that we called where they just covered it, so we had to throw it away. So, there's 5 right off the top of my head, and
okay.
If you hit 5 of those, everyone's high fiving. It's a big day, right? But yeah, you know how that goes.
With that said, Derek, how fine is that line between taking what the defense gives you and taking what you want?
Well, if you want to throw it up into 2 people, you can take it and try and get what you want. But I'm sure I'd get some good comments on that one too if I tried that one. It'd be fun either way. But there is a fine line when it's a closer score. There is a fine line when it's like if a guy is 1-on-1 and you choose not to throw it and you're like, nah, I just check. That's different. When it's a zone coverage and they're all looking at you, trying to bait you to throw the deep shot, that's different. That stuff. I've been in that situation, sadly, too many times where it's like, I know I'm gonna have to answer about this later, but it is what it is, right? And we grade it, and you get a check mark. Yeah, hey, good job. You can't. There's a certain time if it's 4th down, right? And it's the score is tied. There's no time on the clock, and we have to throw 4 balls in the end zone. Like Kansas City, you got to throw 4 balls in the end zone. That's different, right? But there's a time where also you have to move the ball efficiently. You can't just chuck it up and be in 3rd and 10, and then now you're going to get different calls, and sometimes your calls and their calls aren't going to mix well.
Last one, guys.
Are you surprised that Ryan Woodford being a starter week 1 and being cut before?
He got cut. Yeah, that's. I didn't know. I saw his locker in there. It is surprising. I love RG. He's a heck of a person, man. That breaks my heart, to be honest with you. I feel for him, but it does surprise me, because he was doing some really good things in camp. Saw him make that really good catch in the Rams preseason game. Made some good catches. He scored in the preseason when I played a little bit. Caught some good balls against Denver. First pass of the year, even on a little choice route. So it's hard. But again, you guys know, man, this business is crazy. We've all seen some crazy things around here. So it is what it is.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks guys.
Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks.